Okay, great. Yes, thanks. Okay, everybody, it's great to be here today. I'm Rob Gray, Strategic Development Officer at Business to Business. We've been successful as a Tier 2 CAEHRS Framework provider for 5 English lots, that's Central England, North East, North West, Southern England, and London and the home counties. Business to Business has delivered publicly funded employment support for 35 years. And is recognised as a high-performing mainstream service provider with BAME Group and other specialisms. Many of you will know us already. We've worked as subcontractor for many of you, and we've also, in more recent years, worked as prime provider too. So some of you will be our subcontractors. We've supported over 30,000 participants since 2012 and have links with diverse partners in all lots, including national and local employer networks. We've won a national training award, and we were recently highly commended within the CAEHRS Awards category for Best Supply Chain Partner. So we know what it feels like to be a supply chain partner, and we will bring that with us to our work with you as a prime. We continuously innovate and have recently won an Innovate UK grant to develop our new Job Boost portal, which utilises artificial intelligence and natural language processing, which should lead to a faster return to employment for people who've recently lost jobs. We've also have a partnership with a leading technology company, developing a platform through which an IAG advisor can identify individually appropriate skills interventions to meet local labour market needs. And these technologies and innovations we'll share with supply chain partners. We're not in competition with you for performance. We're working together to get performance to achieve the contract for the people in the localities in which we work. We add value and increase our impact by working in partnership and collaborating with other service providers, local stakeholders and decision makers. So for instance, we have co-location MOUs and ongoing strong and frequent liaison with Job Centre Plus, and we really value those strong links with local service providers, and particularly Job Centre Plus, of course, on DWP contracts. We value deep and enduring links with communities, maintaining a continuous dialogue and ensuring that our delivery remains fit for purpose and relevant to local people. Although we cannot talk about our actual management fee, because as Elizabeth said, it is dependent on the actual call-off contract that we receive from the DWP, but we always do take an approach that's aligned to Merlin and the DWP Code of Conduct. We have gained a reputation as a fair, open and trusted prime that works collaboratively with partners to enable each organisation to achieve and evolve. To this end, we commit to always agreeing funding of volumes with supply chain partners prior to bid submission. We always ensure supplier contracts mirror our contract with the funder. We always allocate funding on a fair unit cost and anticipated participant volume basis. And we always make a genuine attempt to support a failing subcontractor back to profile before we take any further action. We support supply chain partners throughout their delivery, for instance, by providing cost partnership initial training on project approaches, systems and processes, additional training on key components, regular cost partnership meetings to disseminate updates, review what works and share best practice, and undertake regular individual partner visits to preempt issues before they impact on output achievement. We also have extensive employer engagement and share these opportunities with supply chain partners. In fact, we share throughout, sharing our understanding of what works, sharing our innovation, sharing the benefits of our participant and employer engagement initiatives, and sharing the benefits of our extensive links with national and regional and local stakeholders. So if you'd like to work in partnership with us as a supply chain partner, an EOI is available on our website. So please have a look at our website and have a look on the partnership opportunities page where you'll see details of our provider framework. That framework is actually for all procurements that we might be involved in. That will apply for any future UK SPF as well as any CAEHRS supply chain that we're looking for. What we're looking for from a supply chain partner is a provider that understands the needs of their community and have the expertise to support those needs. The ability to meet performance requirements of the DWP is obviously key because these will be performance-driven contracts. The passion and the enthusiasm to go the extra mile when needed. The willingness to flex as required by the contract and the commissioner, because one of the new things, particularly in CAEHRS contracts, is likely to be ongoing change within that contract. So we need providers who are able and willing to flex accordingly as those changes take place. and a commitment to collaborate with us as we will collaborate with you to continuously improve and innovate, and a willingness to invest and resource as necessary to take forward those continuous innovations and improvements. So we've got a video on the EHRS site. Really pleased about that. So that nicely showcases what we're about. And also we've got a presentation which gives all this information in more detail, which I'll very happily share with you. And my email address is on the web page I mentioned earlier, our Partnership Opportunities webpage. Okay, thanks.
Okay, thank you, Rob. I think George is fixed the link or whatever, and he's able to join us now. So shall we go to George Selmer? Hello, George. Colin Gearing at the Growth Company, are you able to unmute and come on screen and speak to us?
Yeah, I think I'm not sure whether it was on screen or not, but my video was on for this session so far anyway. Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Colin Gearing from the Growth Company. I'm the Group Business Development Director. For those of you that don't know, the Growth Company's a £110 million social enterprise with a mission to enable growth, create jobs and improve lives. We employ around 1,100 staff at the moment who all across them support businesses to start and grow and help businesses create jobs, as well as helping people to find work, get new skills, stop offending or improve their overall health and well-being. We deliver services nationally, but particularly across the north of England, where each year we support around 100,000 people and about 30,000 businesses across our programs and contracts. The contracts we deliver include prime contracts as DWP's CAEHRS provider for the Northwest, the National Careers Service. Oh, I'm getting really bad feedback. Is it feedback? Is the feedback for anyone else? Oh, whatever. Someone's fixed it anyway. Okay, so current contracts include DWP's CAEHRS, National Careers Service, National Citizen Service. We deliver the MOJ CFO hub across Yorkshire and Humber. A bunch of ESF skilled support contracts across the north, as well as adult education budget, both national and devolved. COVID for us has really had a massive impact in our thinking and understanding of how employment services should be constituted and run going forward. Throughout the lockdown period, we engaged and worked with about 6,000 businesses remotely to understand what was happening in their businesses and their firms and the decisions they were making about furlough, about redundancy and about long-term investment. We know that unemployment's going to grow and continue to grow as businesses contract and also sadly fold. But we think from all those conversations with businesses that COVID-19's legacy is going to go much further. It's fundamentally changing the behaviour of consumers and the choices made by employers and businesses. And we think that's the significant change in what a labour market actually is and functions that are going to endure long beyond COVID do call for some fresh thinking and new ideas. So we've got our vision for future employment programmes includes quite a few things, but just three to pull out is we think that technology obviously is going to increase the efficiency of services, but it also needs to increase the accessibility of them and particularly the intensity of provision. We know that the more intensive an employment programme is, the higher it performs, and technology's got a key role to play in that. We also know that the economy is changing and the labour market's changing quite radically. So we don't think that a new service is just about finding jobs. It's about how it can support and enable the creation of jobs, especially during a period of rapid labour market transformation. And finally, and consistently for us and many others on the call, we think that the new programme has to deliver high performance, but also wider and significant social impact. So we've got an open partner network which people can apply to join at any time. It's available through our website and also our Intend portal. And during the CAEHRS preparation, we received about 200 organisations seeking to work with us, and as opportunities come along, we'll be engaging those in the tier 2 areas, tier 2 contracts that we're part of in the Northwest and the Northeast. But in terms of what partners we look like, we don't just look at this in terms of us being a prime contractor. We'd also look at this as us being a partner in working with other prime contractors. But there's three things that we think make a good partner for us. One is proven high performance. The other is a shared set of values. And third is capabilities and deep local integration. So that's what we're looking for, and hopefully anyone we work with in any way, shape and form, hopefully that's what we can help bring to. So thanks very much for listening. I'm looking forward to hearing from the rest of the speakers.
Right, thank you very much, Colin. I am reliably informed on my phone that George Selma's managed to log out and log back in successfully. So can we go over to you now, George?
Can you hear me now, Elizabeth?
I can hear you.
Yes.
Yay!
All
I
this
can't
expensive...
see you yet, but I can hear you.
Excellent. All this expensive kit is great when it works, isn't it? Cool. Fantastic. Thank you, everyone. It's really great to be here this afternoon. So my name is George Selner. I'm the Corporate Development Director for Adecco Working Ventures, part of the management team that's set up what is a new organisation, a new joint venture, but one with a really rich history of helping people into sustainable work. So we're formed by two different companies. First of all, Corndell, the organisation that I work for. We are one of the leading providers of vocational training. We're the fastest growing apprenticeship provider in the UK. And we work with some of the UK's biggest employers, organisations like UBS, Bupa, Societe Generale. We have a really high-tech, high-touch, what we call connected by technology delivery model that we've learned a lot from over the last 4 years delivering apprenticeships, and we intend to move into employability services. And our partner is the Adecco Group UK and Ireland, so one of the largest resourcing companies in the world, working in over 100 companies with thousands of employers and thousands of job seekers across the globe every single day. And we think that this partnership gives us the opportunity to do two things that I think we've all tried to do before and not quite made work yet. One is to properly integrate employability with vocational training, and the second is to properly integrate employability services with volume commercial recruitment services and access to that massive pool of vacancies. So we're setting our sights high and hoping that we are successful, but we're going to need lots of help to do that. We were really pleased to be win places on the CAEHRS Framework in all of the 6 areas that we bid in. 4 of those are in Tier 1, 2 in Tier 2. And our senior management team, we're a new organisation, and obviously Corndell and Adecco in adjacent spaces, but not in the employability sector at the moment. Our senior management team has a really deep experience of delivering back to work services. And between that team, we've set up and ran organisations that have delivered some of the highest performing DWP contracts over the last 10 or 20 years, all the way back to the original new deals. We've worked in partnership with organisations in the private, public and voluntary sectors. And everybody's fag packet looks different, but we reckon that team has helped over 1 million people back into work in the last 10 years in various different places. We think good work is a really important component of our health and well-being. We think that our job seekers deserve the best support. So we are driven to be the highest performing provider in every area that we deliver. We really believe the numbers matter. That's the purpose behind this JV with the scale that we're trying to create. The more people we help into work, the more lives we change, the more impact we can make. So we've got a really clear aim to support the response to the economic crisis that we find ourselves in and get Britain back to work. We want to help 500,000 people into employment in the next 5 years, and we can only do that with the support of the organisations that are in this meeting today. So we're informed by the past. We've been around for quite a bit of it. We're all getting greyer and more wrinkly by the year, but we believe that we've got a weight of evidence that tells us what works in employment services, but we're not constrained by the past. We think the future looks different. We think it's more accessible, better connected, more personal, and I think, as Colin has just said, we think it's higher performing. So we think that the future of employment services looks a bit like these 3 things. We think that it is really accessible. We think that the services are flexible, they're easy to use, they are available anywhere at any time. And we're working with organisations like Aptem, for example, to properly leverage digital technology platforms. We think that they are going to be really intelligent. We think that they're going to be properly informed by live labour market and demographic data so that we can properly respond to labour market need as it develops in an era when we're not really going to know what the labour market's going to look like in 6 months' time. Adecco have got a depth of labour market insight, and we're also working with partners like Policy and Practice to help us properly understand what the landscape looks like as we develop our services. And we think that it's going to be really personal. We are committed to having our services delivered by utterly brilliant staff with access to a wide range of resources supported by rich data to make sure that people get the help they need to move them into and to keep a good job. Now, we intend to deliver some of those services ourselves, but we will also need a really robust and strong supply chain of partners to help us deliver our aim of 500,000 people back to work. So we're looking for end-to-end providers of job brokerage services and a wide range of specialist support providers who can help us to help people back to work. And we'll be looking to work with the very best providers, the highest performing providers, the providers that can evidence that the things that they do demonstrably help more people into jobs. We want to help more people into work than previous programs than ever before. We've had, I think, about 300 plus organizations already express an interest in working with us, which for us as a new entrant into the market is really exciting. Over the next few weeks, we will be coming back out to all of those organizations and starting conversations with you to understand how we might work together. My colleague, Tom Waddle, who you may be able to see on the call, I think Tom's camera is on at the moment, will be leading this piece of supply chain development work for us. If you've not already engaged with us, but you want to work with us, the easiest way to do that is to complete what is a really short expression of interest on our website. I understand that Ursa are going to provide the link in the follow-up email, but you can find it pretty easily on the partner tab at adeccoworkingventures.com. It is literally 4 or 5 questions. Who are you? Who do you work for? Where do you want to work with us? What services do you deliver? How can we get in touch with you? And Tom or one of our team will be out to talk to you in the next few weeks. So look, we are really excited to be building a new model to take employment services into what is going to be a really challenging decade. And we are really looking forward to working with all of you on this call. So thank you very much. And we look forward to talking to you soon.
Okay, thank you, George. So if we can now move on to Caroline Fox at Twin.
This is a marathon, isn't it, everybody? And well done to the 176 people who are still on this meeting. So thank you for waiting for us. So my name is Caroline Fox. I'm CEO of Twin Group, and I'm very proud to be, having listened to the previous speakers, to be one of this amazing group of people and organisations who are going to, as George said, impact hopefully the lives of millions of people over the next 10 years and come up with some innovation and come up with some programs that will definitely move people forward. So we've got a presentation. I think Adrian's just put this up. I'm going to pass over to Adrian in just a short time, but I've been in business and running this business, which is called Twin, because I started the business with my twin sister 25 years ago, and we've been very much involved in education, employment, training and skills for that period of time. We first got involved, we were involved in work program as a subcontractor for many of the primes. I think 4 of the primes that are speaking today, we've worked in partnership with them under work program. So we actually get what it feels like to be a subcontractor, having worked through the last 10 years to become now in a position. We haven't won anything yet, and everybody on this meeting today, we're in a competition, so we have to produce the best possible bids with the best possible performance offers in order for us to be awarded contracts. So we're very, very aware that performance is the key to driving, to being able to win and to be and to engage with. So we understand the importance of performance is what I'm saying. So Adrian's going to briefly go through this presentation with you, and we thought it would be quite nice to just break up the speaking. So I'll just pass over to Adrian, who can introduce our business, if he can. Adrian? Hello? Are you muted?
Drag this way, just drag it.
We can hear you now.
Click this, present.
Yeah,
on your presentation. You need to click present on your presentation.
This, where?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Drag it away if you can. Oh, yeah. That's how you present.
Adrian?
Yeah, what there? Hang on.
No, I'm so sorry. Adrian, I think.
There we go.
Yeah? Is that there now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good. Okay, I'm sorry we went a little awry there. Hi everyone. Yeah, we put a brief presentation together partly because I think while many of you will have heard of Capita and Reed and Serco and CTEC and many of the other large primes, less of you will have heard of Twin. And so we thought it might be helpful just to take you through a little bit about that. And my personal view was that if I gave you some visual support, it would be infinitely more memorable than watching and listening to me. So a brief introduction then to our partners of today and hopefully tomorrow. Twin's 25 years old, as Caroline said. Why on earth would you call a business twin? Well, Caroline is one of two ladies born on the same day. So hence the name of Twin. And it was, you can see below, we work with quite a wide range of partners, both as prime and as subcontractor. But really Twin is all about helping people to realize their full potential by giving them life-enhancing experiences. That's always what Twin's been about. 25 years, as we said, that 2,800 service end users is something that is set to grow very considerably. And we deliver training through many different modes. And I think one thing that has really helped us with COVID is suddenly we were able to flip much more of our delivery onto digital delivery. And now we have an extensive program of digital learning options for our service end users. Everybody has values, we do too, and we really do try to live by those values. And I think, you know, if people can see those values and think that relates to us too as an organization, then hopefully you might consider Twin as one of the partners that you would like to work with. In CAEHRS itself, Twin secured Tier 2 status in 3 regions: London, home counties, London and home counties, Central and Wales, and therefore can bid across the country for other opportunities. And for us, it's especially as an up and coming, if you like, SME, to have secured those places means people recognize our combination of performance, but also focus on the individual and his or her life and opportunities. A few examples of what we're doing right now. So there's the work program, which we had in the past, and I'm sure everybody's familiar with that as a subcontractor. Multiple NEETs and family subcontracts. So we've worked with the likes of Reed and Serco in some of those, and families, of course, some of the more difficult to reach people. Currently, we're quite widely distributed in SSU, Skills Support to the Unemployed, in South East, Coast to Capital, as you can see. Internship contracts, also London and C2C. So more and more we're embedded into these regions, and we've got skills support for the workforce in the Southeast LEP region. Interesting, I think below, it's quite an interesting one. DWP, Reducing Parental Conflict, we think was quite an insightful program from DWP, recognizing that parents, if they were in conflict, it affects their job and life opportunities. We're piloting that. We're one of just 4 companies piloting that in various regions in the UK. But again, to us, it's quite interesting because it's a real specific set of needs for a very specific set of people with very particular problems. Also for Twin, we've always had a special focus on young people. We have an international business dealing with young people, but also NCS, we're proud to be a provider for the National Citizen Service. Life-changing experiences available to all 16 and 17-year-olds, and it's really quite heartwarming to see what teenagers can really be like when they're given the chance to expand and to grow. Kickstart, like everybody else, I guess, we're taking part in Kickstart. We've already identified a number of opportunities within Twin itself, and we have a bunch of employers now also interested in working with us as a gateway. Erasmus is another youth opportunity. Not only do we entertain overseas visitors, but more importantly, perhaps, we send young people from the UK for really rewarding, expanding overseas work experiences. And we're one of just 17 Erasmus Charter members in the UK. And again, it's a fantastic experience for young people in a safe way to go overseas, to get work experience, and to live in a different place. And of course, we've got all sorts of Twin working schemes, whether it's internships in the UK and for overseas. We've people in vocational schools and regional governments, individuals from overseas, also taking advantage of our network of employers and our ways of really fitting individual experiences, to individual people. And more Twin now is moving into a 21st century IT environment. We're mostly in the cloud now, and in particular on the employer engagement side, we have a dedicated cloud-based employer engagement system, and our team now really uses that very effectively. And then, of course, calling your partners. As many of you have heard before from other providers, Twin is an SME. And if you think coming up from, if you like, a single bedroom in South London to where we are now, we understand every stage of being an SME, whether at the S or the M end of that spectrum. And of course, we too have worked as a prime contractor and a subcontractor. So we hope we understand very much what our contractors need. And of course, everybody would say that. So I just thought a couple of extracts from our Merlin assessment might be useful. So one is, again, it's very much about working as a partnership. So we really are very thoughtful about the supply chain, about the individual contract involved, and about the balance of supply chain participants that may be useful for a given contract and may benefit most from a given contract. So it's very much a case of trying to have a really well-designed approach to finding the right supply chain partners for any given contract opportunity. And again, an effective strategy for review, constantly reviewing, therefore constantly inviting new participants from the supply chain to get in touch with us, and sometimes very much in very niche supply chain partners to add value to that overall supply chain value. And again, very much about how we use the process to help our supply chain partners to develop their processes too. And like the other partners, we very much value the input of our supply chain, people who can come up with ideas, make suggestions, and of course, help us to perform better as a prime working with suppliers. Forgive me, voice giving out. So that was pretty much what I was going to say today. I don't know, Caroline, if you'd like to add anything more. We do have a link for people who would like to continue to express interest in working with Twin. Caroline.
No, thank you very much. And I think we'll end there, but just as the 173 people that are now on this meeting, really excited to be given this opportunity. Absolutely, and we are a really personable, human, and empowering organisation wanting to work with people who want to help others. So we all, as our great team, we all look forward to potentially working with you. Thank you very much. I'm sorry for the blurred. It's not me. It's this camera. I look a bit blurred, but
We can see you.
Everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline and Adrian. So the final presentation in the group is from Kay Sutton at Wiseability.
Thanks, Elizabeth, and thank you to Ursa for hosting this event. It's extremely helpful. I can't tell you how many times Wiseability has been in the position where we've been desperately trying to find out about all of the potential partners, and I think it's absolutely fantastic that we've be able to interact and meet everyone and get to share the great experience we have for the sector. When Wiseability was successful in securing the DWP framework opportunities, we took that opportunity to really reflect on our years of experience in the industry. Wiseability is a UK charity that was founded by the Australian charity Wise Employment back in 2008. And over the last 10 years, we've played a really crucial role working in employment, skills, justice, health, and also developing our own social enterprises. And through that experience, we've had a passion for holding the role of a prime contractor with DWP, but we take that responsibility extremely seriously, and we've waited for the optimum opportunity where we feel that we can offer our partners leadership, support, and a great opportunity to collaborate in a sector that we are deeply passionate. I can talk about Wiseability all day. I'm really passionate about the organisation that I'm part of. But as a charity, you know, we have a huge amount of diverse programmes that we support. And at this point, we don't know what opportunities or the exact design of the opportunities that are going to be coming forward on the framework, which is why it's absolutely crucial that we build a really diverse partnership framework. Now, some of you may have already submitted partnership applications to Wiseability. And one of the things that we're going to be doing is we've got a dedicated team who are going to be responding to those applications we've had so far, but also to those applications that we would like from you moving forward after this event. And when we talk about partnership at WISE, it's really important for us that it is more than just a piece of paper. It is more than just a submission that is a pass or fail. For us to be successful in our endeavours within this sector, we really need to understand the dynamics of your organisations. So we need to know, where are your strengths? What is it that's absolutely distinct about your organisation and what you bring to a potential partnership? Now, there could be multiple opportunities to work with us as a partner, whether that be in a specialist capacity or whether that be as an end-to-end provider. But the one thing that I would say is true about our organisation is that we are absolutely focused on the customer at the heart of everything that we do. So all of our services are built with the customer at the centre of everything that we think. Now, we are all taking this journey in terms of using technology and innovation. But actually, I think our greatest challenge is actually how we empower our customers to take this journey, because I think we're all finding it, you know, easy to make that change. But I think what we know about the people that we support, and WISE is committed to supporting the most disadvantaged, is actually many of our customers are not finding this journey easy. And this is a real challenge that we need to address. When we think about the partnerships and the way that we've worked, WISE has been existing in Australia since 1992. So over those years, we've had to continually evolve and develop the way in which we deliver services. Some of that has encouraged us to use technology, but not technology to replace the fantastic skills of our teams and our partners, but to use technology to enhance and actually improve the efficiency and the value for money in the services that we provide. When we look for partners, we look for organisations who know their particular areas of expertise. They know the regions that they work in, they know their distinct communities, and they know their key strengths. And if they don't know their key strengths, we want to help you find what is your key strength. Know what you're good at, do what you're good at, and do it well. One of the things that we identify, Wiseability has been successful as a tier 1 in central England and a tier 2 for the northeast and southern England. Now, in order to make those huge areas work, we need a dynamic supply chain, which is a real mix of organisations that bring multiple skills to the table. So within this relationship building, I talked a little bit about the EOI process. We really want to make sure that that piece of paper comes to life. So we have committed a dedicated team who will extend that piece of paper into formal dialogue so that we really get a rich and deep relationships with any prospective partners. We hope that will then translate to a journey where it may be that we don't work with you on one opportunity, but we know you well enough to know what your capacity and capability might be for the future. As an organisation, we took the decision to only tender for the DWP framework in 3 of the lots, which was the central, northeast and southern England. We took that decision because we know those areas well. We work in those areas, but we don't know everything that needs to be known. We need the greater expertise of organisations who know the communities in those regions. So we're calling for partners who feel that they have experience and competence to bring to the party to build a winning team. We are looking for suppliers who are passionate about getting it right. We want to be successful and we're extremely passionate about performance, because if we're customer centric, we actually need to commit to getting the results for the customers that we're here to support. In this, we know that this is a constantly fast evolving world and industry to work in. And we've had a huge amount of success, particularly over the last 10 years, where we've embraced relationships with other industries, particularly within the technology sector. I think many of us who are on this call will know that actually we have a huge amount of experience in knowing how to support the customers to achieve work and work. But actually, it's the additional support in accessibility, technology enhancements that can actually take us further and enable us to move forward collectively. From this point forward, we would like to ask that if you are interested in working with Wiseability, that you actually contact us either through the link that we previously provided through URSA, or through our dedicated email, which is partners@wiseability.co.uk. And we will share that, and I'm sure our colleagues at URSA will share that after this event as well. I think the one thing I would say about working with WISE is we have an open culture. And very much like colleagues before me have said, we understand how difficult it is to be a partner, particularly when you are promoting your skills to multiple organisations and often not always receiving the feedback on whether you've been successful or why you haven't been successful. Our commitment to you is that if you get in touch with us, we will get back in touch with you and we will let you know how we view your application to partner with us as an organisation. But we see that only being the very start of the journey. We expect to really build a deep relationship with all potential partners. And that means that we know your strengths, and that allows us to collaboratively present the best of our organisations together. Thank you.
Thank you. So that concludes group 3. Do we have any questions? I do know it's such a long call this afternoon, but I don't know whether other people have seen this, but there's some really positive things on social media. People really welcoming the chance to meet everybody, to actually put faces to the names of organisations, get a feel for it. So thanks for bearing with us.